Thank you, Insurance Hive, for having me. I just recently got assigned to your agency to help grow your agency. So I asked Brian if there's a way I could address the group, and he set it up with Patricia to make it all happen. So I'm kind of happy to be here this early in my relationship with your group, and hope to work with each of you to help you grow the Custom 360 as well as the other products that we have from National General. Um, Thought I would introduce myself for a little bit. I've been in the industry for over 25 years. Most of it, or I should say all of it, has been in Michigan, with some dotted line responsibilities over to Indiana, where we rolled the Custom 360 product out about 3.5 years ago. Ohio, where we've had the Custom 360 product for about 3 years. I am now exclusively just Michigan territory. So your group with your tentacles outside of Michigan, I'm still able to help all of you with everything, as I've got relationships amongst all my peers to get any state-specific questions answered. But mostly today, I'm going to focus in on the products that we can offer you. So the 25 years of experience, I've worked with small agencies, large agencies, groups like yours. So I've pretty much seen every possibility out there. So if you ever have a question, pick up the phone, call me. I think Patricia and Brian will share my information to you. But if you want my email address, if you've got a pen and paper, the old-fashioned way, but I can send an email to everybody after the meeting too. My email address is donald.mccann, MCCANN, @ngic.com. My phone number is 630-204-1852. So that's 630-204-1852. Feel free to call me at any time. My job is to be in agencies, and appointments last usually about an hour or so. So if you leave me a call, I'll usually return it when I get back into the vehicle. What I do want to talk about today are some of the products that National General has offered you. And before we get into the Custom 360, I want to let you know that we have a whole nother suite of products that are available on the specialty vehicle side, is what we call it. And those products are an Advantage Auto and a Value Auto. Both of these products work great for single car, single driver type situation. The Advantage Auto can go up to a 250, 500 split. It's great for, like I said, your single driver, single vehicle. It is also a good product to place your standard vehicles if our Custom 360 auto rate is on the high side premium wise. The value product is designed more for the SR22, people with speeding tickets and things like that. So that product there is a little more I should say high risk product, but either one, if the premiums fit, feel free to place it with them. We also have an recreational vehicle product. The recreational vehicle product can handle your recreational vehicles anywhere from the fifth wheeler all the way up to the high-end motor homes. There's some really nice coverages that are there. If anybody's familiar with the Good Sam Club for trailers, they write on our product, so you know that it's very coverage rich, and can do a great deal for your client with either the fifth wheel or the motor vehicle. The last product that I really want to talk about is flood. Now, I know that a lot of you don't always have flood as a main sale, but the flood product that we offer is actually two products in one. And it's very easy. When you go into our website, you just sign up for the flood product, and you get access to the FEMA policy as well as our Beyond Floods. Our Beyond Floods is our own proprietary flood program that can offer you content coverage for anything below surface. It sometimes does waive the elevation certificate and waives the 30-day waiting period for closings and things of that nature. So give the Beyond Floods a look when you go to place any policies with that need flood, and place them appropriately, either between FEMA and the Beyond Floods. So the other nice thing that I do want to announce is the Custom 360 products. And that's pretty much what Patricia said we would talk about today. And I'm going to spend like the last couple of minutes just talking about the product and then letting you know that in Michigan, the Custom 360 product is in a pilot phase. And I was lucky enough to get your agency to be added as a pilot agent participant last week. So I'm still working on getting you individual credentials to be set up so that you can access the program for quoting. But it's very simple. If you've already had access to Custom 3 or to any National General product in the past, you log in as usual, and the new Custom 360 Auto Home and Package for Michigan will show up for you to quote. So let's talk a little bit about Custom 360, or actually, if you could just give me some kind of response. How many of you have been exposed to the Custom 360 product already?
Hey Don, this is Brian Hannigan. How are you?
Good.
Sorry, I had trouble logging in, but I'm here now. So I sent you that list. Most of the agencies on the call today are from Michigan and Missouri, like the Midwest, a couple in Iowa as well, but a lot of them are in Michigan. I'd say nobody's really had access to it yet. Custom 360. We do have some agencies in Texas, but I know they're still in the pilot mode in Texas. But there's a few agencies on the call that have already had access to it, been quoting it. But 90% of the people are never seen it before or don't even know about it and what it is.
Okay.
Hopefully that's helpful.
It is. It is. So the Custom 360 product, and I saw that Thomas, I believe it was Thomas that raised his hand saying he's had access to the product in the past.
Mhm.
So, Thomas, you should be able to log in for for National General, and you may see the Custom 360 Auto Home and Package available for you today for quoting. So you may be a step ahead of some of the others that were working on credentials to get into the system. The Custom 360 product suite is designed to replace a product that we had in a parent company, or a parent, I should say, sister company, Encompass Insurance, that we have sunsetted and replaced with this new product. The new product allows you to write either a package together, an auto and a home. Also has a renters and a condo feature. The landlord is coming very shortly. So you can write the home product by itself together with the auto. You can write the auto by itself. If you write the auto and the home together, you can then offer them the umbrella product. So that's where we stand right now, is that we have the auto, the home, the renters, and the condo available for you to write. Again, it's in pilot phase in Michigan. The early results for the first, we've been up for about 40 days now, is that the homes are adequately priced, but the autos are a little bit high. So that's why I brought up earlier the specialty vehicle auto products, because you can write a specialty vehicle auto and mix it with a custom 360 home. The specialty vehicle auto has a discount on it that states it's a 5% discount off the auto premium if the home is anywhere in the agency, and 10% if it is written with National General. So you can still give the package discount by doing a specialty vehicle auto along with a custom 360 home, because you will be getting up to 10% off the auto premium. Now, the nice part about the auto in the home is that we can go anywhere from coverage A on the home side from 150 all the way up to 1.5 million. Let me see if I can share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I apologize. This was I had a better copy of this got corrupted, so I had to create this for you. But on the homeowner side, we have three different policy levels: the signature, the preferred, and the elite. So again, like I said, we can go anywhere from coverage A of 150 all the way up to 1.5 million. If there's a need for this agency group, I can offer a second contract out there that goes from the 1 million to the 5 million for coverage A. But again, what we'll need to see is how many are written in that premium bracket or that coverage A bracket, and determine if that's a contract that your group needs. The nice part is, and I apologize, some of this did get cut off, but the nice part is it's a very coverage rich policy. So you can choose either the signature, the preferred, or the elite, depending on what coverages you want automatically included. So by having some included products, it's a lot of times it's cheaper premium wise to just start with the elite or the preferred, as opposed to adding coverage on one by one. And as you quote, you'll see which coverages you'll actually need, or are usually adding on, and see where the price breaks are. Some of the coverages that are different that we offer is for people that are in more of the rural areas. If you're used to any kind of farm, personal farms where they grow some products and then might have a fruit stand or some kind of a produce stand at the end of the driveway, that is acceptable with our product. So a lot of policies do limit you. If you have any kind of fruit stand at the end of the driveway, that eliminates you from having a policy with that carrier. Now, we're not looking into the agricultural or the farming protection, but what we're doing is more of the homes that just have a small garden and want to sell some produce at the end of the season. The other coverage that we do offer is the home sharing, where we can allow your client to use their home as an Airbnb for up to 90 days in a year. Does not have to be consecutive. It can be weekend after weekend, but it cannot exceed 90 days in a year. So those are some of the nice features about the home. One thing I do have to bring up is the wind hail. So wind hail is handled as a 2,500 flat deductible. So we have the 2,500 wind hail deductible that would apply. And then every home in Michigan, and we're the first state to do this, and we don't know if it's going to stay this way or not, but it's part of the pilot rollout, is every single roof is already on a depreciation schedule. So even if they replaced it the day before you wrote it, it would have a depreciation factor applied to it. Now that depreciation factor would be very, very small at the beginning, but as you get closer to the 20 to 30-year-old roof, you're going to have a greater depreciation schedule. So that is it on the that's it on the home. So let's take any questions on any home questions that you have.
Yeah, you can put any questions in the chat, or Patricia, you can unmic at this time. Anybody that wants, that's about on the one that kind of gave you the comparison of each program. Is it possible to get a copy of that to use like as a cheat sheet?
Yes, and that's
Okay.
why I asked Patricia if I'd be getting everybody's name and emails. What
Yeah.
I'll do is I'll send I'll send now all the brochures. I didn't want to
Okay.
have slide after slide after slide showing up here, but I'll send a whole bunch of stuff to you afterwards.
Do you one question we did get was, is National General writing? I know they're doing, out in the rural areas. Will they write in protection class 10?
We actually will. Protection class 10 sometimes gets moved over to the underwriter, and some of your coverage A limits are then reduced a bit. I know that we're not going to go up to the full 1.5 million. I believe it's drops down to 750 as the maximum for a coverage A amount. Some of the things, like I said, it is subject to your underwriting approval. So if you are in a pure protection class 10, you may want to contact our underwriting department and get that all approved before you move on.
Okay.
Don, we write some high value homes with Chubb. One of the areas where they turn down homes, not necessarily all high value, if they're near waterways, say a canal, 3 to 4 miles away from a lake, they won't write them. Is there any issues with National regarding water?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't heard of any restrictions like that in either Indiana, Ohio, or Michigan.
So from a water home, would that include the docks, the movable docks? Would that be underneath the policy?
It would. It would be covered as part of your personal property, but you'd want to have that discussion with an underwriter if they have any extensive docking. Because I know that some of these docks can get pretty extensive with walkways as well as ramps, ride-on ramps for the personal watercraft. Any of the additional lifts and things like that, you're going to want to make sure that you have those covered properly and that the underwriter annotates on the policy that they have that
And
extensive.
I might have missed this in the beginning. So do you write the monoboat, jet skis and so on, or is that only written within the HO?
Right now, we don't have any boat product. The intent was we wanted to get this product with the basic coverages, such as the auto, the home, the renters, the condo. We're introducing the landlord a little bit later. This product had to be up, brought up, or delivered to 50 different states. So we had our IT team really struggling just to get the base products up, approved by each commissioner and running in each state. Now that
Okay.
we've got, Michigan is about state 38 or 39. So now we have a bunch of programmers that are going back and fixing things in the system that we've gotten some critiques about. And then now we're starting to work on the additional products.
And with your
So
elite product, is there a max, were you saying, on the TIV? Or you can write an unlimited amount for the value of the home?
the value of the home, on the elite product, it goes, the product that you for sure will have will go up to a $1.5 million home. And then the additional contract for Premier, and Brian and I will discuss how we're gonna work the Premier product, but that can go up from a $1 million home up to a $5 million home.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be great because nowadays a lot of homes are pushing that over that 1.5 million.
Yes. I
Mhm.
saw there was a question in the chat about hobby farms. Yes, we will do hobby farms with the caveat that there is some livestock restrictions. There is also the restriction that you cannot use your land at all to be leased out for someone else to use. You cannot have any kind of instructional classes. Like if you have some horses, you can't do any training or horse riding lessons, things of that nature. So your first couple of hobby farms, if you're in that market, you may want to contact the underwriter and find out all the different parameters and what they're going to approve and how they want it discussed before or after you issue the policy. Okay. Not sure anything else in the chat that I'm missing.
She wants to know what type of animal, Don.
Oh,
Is there
for
a limit?
hobby
The hobby,
farms?
yeah.
Yeah, there is so the hobby farms, there's you can have some livestock. I forget exactly. I think it's up to 5 different livestocks, combination of horses, cows, that type of stuff. And that's where, again, you're going to want to contact the underwriter to find out, any limitations, because you're going to want to be able to instruct your client to say, hey, look, you've got 4. If you buy 2 more, you got to contact me because you may not have this policy anymore, that type of thing. So just figure out how they're going to work the livestock. Basically, just look at it as like the gentleman's farm, where, like you said, the hobby farm, where they just have a few animals. Once you start getting into a lot more livestock, definitely have that conversation with the underwriter.
Yeah,
Okay.
these are getting more popular, it seems like. I never knew. I'm a city guy. I never knew what a hobby farm was, but is it basically anybody that does it for fun? They don't make money or profit from selling the cow milk, or is that the definition of a hobby farm? You do it like my brother-in-law lives in, I think, South Lyon. He's got a couple horses, but he's not racing them. He just has them to, I don't know.
Yeah, it takes the property outside the standard personal lines
Yeah.
home. And what the hobby farm does is exactly kind of what you described. They have some acres, it might be a 5-acre parcel, and they're going to farm 2 acres of it for their own use, and then maybe sell some extra stuff at a produce stand at the end of the season. And we all drive past them when we're going out to cider mills, or we're, in the more rural areas. You got the egg stands. You've got I've got corn or
Yeah.
tomatoes or something like that to sell. You have
Yeah.
the little fruit stand with the can where you put the money in. That's usually your hobby farms. And like I said, we will take the produce stand at the end of the drive, where a lot of carriers won't take that.
Mm.
So
We got a good question from my friend Peter Perlman about the roofs.
I see that, yes.
Yeah.
It's still too early to tell how we're gonna do with the roof. There is some discussion to go back to what the other states have, which is replacement cost for the first 15 years and then a depreciation schedule after that, which is a little bit more common. We decided to launch Michigan with this schedule just to see how it was received and to see how it worked. So, Peter, right now we're in that testing phase with the pilot program, but we don't know if it's going to stay that way or if we're going to make the change back. So I can't really answer that question just yet. But I do know that there are some carriers out there that are on the replacement schedule all the way through. So why don't I go back and share real quick? Let's see. Let me see if
Before you do that, we have one more question offline, Don. Does National General order home inspections on new business home inspections, or do you do like a real-time aerial photo and that's it?
for the most part, we're doing the aerial photos.
Okay.
So, so you don't have to worry about that at all. But we do have some in-person inspections that will come out. If somebody does need to get inside the home, and that's usually at 750 or higher, you're gonna have, like a molar inspection. They have the option to do the inspection themselves or have the inspector come into their home and do the inspection with them present. So, it's pretty user friendly, but if we did have to inspect a house on a regular basis, it's gonna be just like any other carrier. We'll do an exterior inspection. They don't need to be home. If there's a gate, they'll double check to make sure there's no dog. They'll also ring the doorbell to get access, permission to access the backyard of the house and things of that nature. So it's just a regular inspection.
Okay. Thank you.
No, and I'm saying no to the question that just popped up in the chat. Question was, does NatGen offer an HO2 where the RCE is higher than the market value? At this time, no, we do not have an HO2 available for those situations. Again, it's one of those things where talk to the underwriter to see if it's within the range that they will accept, and then see if they can issue the home. But if it's going to be greatly different by like 50, 40 to 50% difference between the replacement cost estimator and the market value, most likely it's not a home that's designed for the Custom 360 product. Real briefly, since I'm just at my time right now, the auto product, it is a standard auto product. The unique differences are it can be written as a 6-month or a 12-month policy. If it is packaged up with the home, it will be a 12-month policy. It's between you and your client to determine what period they want to choose at the beginning if it's a monoline auto. The kind of unique things about the auto is we do have the endorsement for the ride share. So if someone in the household is a what I want to say is a driver for Uber, Uber Eats, or Lyft. Those are the three: Uber Eats, or Lyft. You can put that endorsement on the policy, and you can still insure that operator with us. We also have the dynamic drive discount, which will measure time of day, speed or braking, and phone handling. But all they do is they register for it, and they can get a pretty good discount off the auto on that.
Don, have you heard? I got a lot of calls lately this week about people using their personal vehicles for delivering for the U.S. Post Office, especially in smaller towns where they're delivering the mail for the post office, independent contractors.
I can tell you right now, we're not going to want that risk. Because of the risk of, or the liability of having somebody's mail get stuck between, the seat and the console. But that risk is probably too high for us. But you can double check with the underwriter, but I'm sure that's going to be a hard no.
Okay.
Because that's more using your vehicle on a regular basis because it's an everyday occurrence. So that's more of a commercial exposure as opposed to just frequent, off and on using it for the just as a courtesy. The difference with the Uber Eats, and Lyft is there is a separate contract or insurance policy out there. So when they accept a rider, we know when our insurance stops and Uber's policy or Lyft's policy takes over.
I see.
And then the other is we can't say, hey, so like Kroger, everyone's familiar with Kroger grocery store. If you deliver food for Kroger, we have no idea, or I don't believe Kroger has an insurance policy for those drivers if they were to use their individual car. So when they're doing that, we would be leaving the insured uninsured, and that's not a situation we want to put ourselves in contractually. So that's why Uber Eats, and Lyft works. We know that as soon as ours stops, theirs picks up. As soon as theirs stops, we pick up. So there's never any coverage gaps there. Okay.
Brian, maybe we can talk offline about other states with national, if we're able to write in other states.
What other state would you need?
Currently, we're in Arizona, Nevada, Florida, Indiana, and Texas.
Texas, like Brian said, is still in the pilot phase. Arizona is launched, but they've got a hybrid situation. They're having some difficulties with the auto premium. So I can see if they're going to add any new agents there. Nevada, I believe, is launched, and I know Indiana is launched. So we can look at adding Indiana and Arizona.
In Florida?
Florida, the product is not available just yet, and it's going to be very limited as to what products I can offer you in Florida.
Alrighty, thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. One other thing I do want to circle back on, and I know I've gone 4 minutes over, but I thank you for your time. On the home product, the only ineligible dog breed with us is a dog with a prior bite history. Okay, so there is no excluded dog list. It is prior bite history is our limitation for dogs. So
That's pretty nice. Usually it was pit bull Rottweilers that would knock you out of the.
yeah, but I've met some really nice pit bulls and I've met some really nasty little chihuahuas. So
Yeah. Okay.
all right, any other questions
That's
for
good.
me? Oh, I see in the chat the Uber Black. Yeah, that's all part of Uber. So Uber Black, and Uber would be fine. So if there's no other questions, thank you so much for your time. I really look forward to working more in depth with all of you this year, especially Brian. And like I said earlier, my goal is to help grow your agency. So reach out to me, ask any questions, and we can help your agency succeed with some additional sales with our new products. So I
Yeah, and
appreciate the time
if
today.
you don't, if you're not already set up, thank you, Don. I put in my email. You need to sign a producer form. It's just a 1-page producer background check. That'll go to me, and then we'll get you set up in the system. And then they actually do product training every Thursday, like at 1 o'clock, on
Okay.
the Custom 360 Home and Auto. That's a national general training that they do. Your training team, Don, does it, puts it on. So I think that's helpful for any new agent or that needs a refresher. So
And that is, yes, that is very true. And I am putting in.
yeah, we're excited about it. You know, Don, at one time, I was told that National General's goal is to be a top 5 personal lines carrier in the United States in the next 5 years. Is that still the big overarching goal to go
Yes.
after the top 5? Mm-hmm.
Yes, our parent company is Allstate.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that we are A+ rated. We're in a great financial situation. And Allstate is in a huge growth mode right now. So we just purchased, we spent $4 billion three years ago to purchase National General, to help beef up our independent agency platform.
Mm-hmm.
So they know that they are committed to making the independent agency successful. They believe in the independent agency plant, and it's a very vital part of their growth. So there's going to be a lot of resources put our way in the next couple of years.
Sounds great. Well,
Okay.
Thanks for everything, Don. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Have a great
Okay.
rest of the meeting,
You
and
too.
nice meeting everyone.
Thanks.